All right, let's turn to the Middle East, where the fighting between Israel's military and Hamas continues. Israel's ambassador to the UK has rejected a two-state solution between Israel and the Palestinians, while the White House National Security Advisor Sullivan is scheduled to hold talks with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about a need for more precise strikes against targets in Gaza. We have details in this report.
Israel's military operation in Jenin in the West Bank is continuing for a third day. 11 Palestinians have been killed and many injured, about half in drone strikes. The Palestinian Prisoners Club, a non-government organization which supports Palestinian prisoners and their families, says that the Israeli army has detained more than 500 people from Jenin during its operations. Now, White House National Security Advisor Sullivan is scheduled to hold talks with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about a need for more precise strikes against targets in Gaza. The health ministry in Gaza, which is run by Hamas, says 18,600 people have been killed in the enclave since the start of the war. The health ministry said at least 19 people were killed this morning in Gaza as a result of Israeli airstrikes. Israel's ambassador to the United Kingdom has said the country will not accept a two-state solution after the war in Gaza ends. The two-state solution is the idea that establishing an independent Palestine alongside Israel would create a way for the two people to coexist peacefully. The policy is supported by the United States and other allies of Israel.
In order to have a better future both to the Palestinians and to the Israelis, Gaza must be demilitarized and Gaza must be de-radicalized. So this is the two things, the two pillars. I always love to compare it to the Marshall Plan.
But
the Marshall Plan.
Israeli occupation.
Obviously, we're not interested to govern the Palestinians, but we are interested to make sure that Gaza won't become another terror hub. So we will demilitarize Gaza. We will demilitarize Gaza because no one else volunteers to do that, by the way.
And then who is in Gaza?
And we believe that together with our allies and with the moderate Arab countries, we can build a better future. But let me tell you my own insight. If education won't be addressed in Gaza, we will end up having another terror organization with a different name.
We don't agree with that. Our long-standing position remains that a two-state solution is the right outcome here, and more immediately, what's going on is incredibly concerning. I've said consistently far too many innocent people have lost their lives. No one wants this conflict to go on for a moment longer than is necessary. Of course, Israel has a right to defend itself from an appalling terrorist attack that it suffered. But as I said to Prime Minister Netanyahu just last week, Israel must take every available precaution to protect innocent civilian lives.
The British Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, says he does not agree with comments made by the Israeli ambassador to the United Kingdom. In the UK, Foreign Secretary David Cameron has announced that extremist settlers responsible for violence in the Israeli-occupied West Bank will no longer be permitted to come to the United Kingdom. In the meantime, families of U.S. hostages held by Hamas say they believe President Joe Biden is doing everything he can to secure the release of their loved ones. There are believed to be 8 Americans still held in Gaza. The meeting came a day after Mr. Biden said Israel was starting to lose global support over its indiscriminate bombing of the territory. This was the first in-person meeting family members of U.S. hostages had with the president after a first virtual meeting in October.